Welcome to the Breakwaters podcast. Got special guest, Mr. Graham Wilson. How you doing?
How are you? I'm very well.
So Graham is a basketball coach and sports consultant. Do you want to tell everybody about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I, as you can probably tell from my accent, we're not from the same country, George. I was born in the UK, grew up there, went to college there. When I graduated, I traveled, set off to Australia and Southeast Asia and various different places like that. Came back at the age of 23, 24, stumbled into professional sports entirely by mistake, by more luck than judgment. And I've been in it ever since. This is my 21st year of being either a coach or in front office management. In professional basketball specifically. My wife and I moved to the US in 2013 with her job, and we've been based here ever since.
Yes, yeah. You've been in a lot of the coaching roles, the London Towers, your assistant coach, Brighton Bears, associate head coach and general manager for a team, and the head and coach and athletic director. And then your assistant men's basketball for Hunter. So it was a lot of good teams you coached, I see.
I've bounced around a little bit. You could say that. They say you're never a coach until you've been fired. I've definitely been fired once. I'm not going to say how many other times I've been fired, but I've managed to build up a decent network of coaches who would still to this day consider employing me. And I must be a glutton for punishment because last year I became the co-owner of a professional franchise, my first professional franchise out in Armenia, of all places. So, it's every aspect of sports, from coaching to front office and now ownership. As you know, there's something about sports that once you get addicted, it's kind of tough to shake.
Of course, yeah, 100%. We had a former guest on. He played for Hunter. I don't know if you know him, Daniel Sokolovsky. Do you know him?
I coached Daniel in his senior year.
Nice.
Danny is now, small world, Danny, I guess, is still out in Slovakia, right? He got his first head coaching gig. We're really happy for him. Another New Yorker, I guess. So, yeah, Danny's a great guy. Slovakia will not be his last stop. His coaching trajectory is trending upwards, and he is a very good coach. He's going to be an even better coach by the time he's done here.
Of course, yeah. I just had him on for my podcast, so it's pretty good guy. And I was like, he went to Hunter. I was like, he probably knows Daniel, so I have to say that, you know.
Danny's a much better coach than he ever was a player. As the same can be said for a lot of us coaches, right?
Yeah, so let's go to Armenia. Co-owner, that's a big step. It's called the U.S. Supersonics of Armenia. So how's that going?
It's great. We ended up going to Armenia because of the lockdown last year in 2020 with COVID. One of my clients that I work for take overseas tours every year for up to 100 male and female college graduates and professional rookies, people who want to continue playing after school, and there are only options to do that professionally. Obviously, a lot of Division II kids, a lot of Division III kids, NAIA kids aren't going to walk into the NBA or the G League, so overseas is a genuine option for those. On those tours with the US Supersonics, over two-thirds actually of the players who tour with us go on to sign professional deals. We usually tour in Spain and Portugal and places like that, and China. Because of lockdown, Armenia was one of the only countries that was open to international travel. So we headed over there, and we've been there ever since. And now happy to call Armenia home for one of the franchises that I'm lucky enough to co-own.
It's awesome. And also, you're the Eurobasket head coach and consultant. You're there from 2016. How's that going?
That's good. That's part of the US program that we run here. We go across 5 or 6 different cities every year. In April, we start at the Women's Final Four. We do a weekend event there where players, about the last count before lockdown in 2019, 150 players, female players, came along to that event. It's a weekend event. There's practices. There's 3 games. Every player gets, full stats, full games, analytics, highlights for them or their agents to use to help them get a job when the signing window opens in June. And it's in June that we start with the men's program. We travel, we do events in New York City, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and we end up in Las Vegas with the running alongside the NBA Summer League. So from those US events, 35% of players from the last, 6 years now have got professional contract offers overseas. So between the US events and the overseas tours, it's a really successful way to get under-recruited players from smaller schools and lower divisions contracts overseas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Once I heard Eurobasket, I was like, oh, no way. Did you know Panathinaikos? Because that's my team. I don't know if you know it.
I've coached many times in Greece, unfortunately never against Panathinaikos, teams like Peristeri, Aris, people like that. So, but haven't had the pleasure yet of Panathinaikos, but maybe one day.
It's great, yeah. I don't know if you know Nick Gallis. He played for Addis. He's a basketball Hall of Famer.
Everybody knows Nick Gallis. Yeah, he was one of the early pioneers, right? One of the original guys to, really get it done at a high level.
Of course. All right, let's go to everyone's favorite round, the quick fire round. I'm asking some quick fire questions. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Favorite cereal?
Cornflakes.
Nice. Favorite TV show?
Anything NBA.
Nice. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Anything by Scorsese. I could go on and on, right? Goodfellas, Casino, the whole lot. Anything by Scorsese.
That's awesome. I'll go with favorite ice cream topping.
Fudge brownie.
Cool. Favorite athlete of all time?
I'm old, so it's got to be MJ.
Nice. Favorite team of all time?
The Spurs team that should have beat the Heat twice, but they only ended up beating them once.
Yeah. I didn't really like the Heat too much. I agree with you with that one. Favorite commercial?
I skipped through all the commercials on YouTube TV, so I couldn't really tell you.
Oh, man, it's the best part. No, Super Bowl commercials. You watch the Super Bowl. That's a great commercial.
I mean, I like the Mr. Peanuts commercial, but it's only because a friend of mine worked on it. So there you go.
Nice. And to wrap off with everyone's favorite question, I'm going to go with, who's your celebrity crush?
Oh, man, celebrity crush. Again, I'm old, so it's Cameron Diaz.
Nice. Oh, that's a good one, yeah. Cameron Diaz is good. It's a good one. All right. Anything to wrap up? Anything you want to say before we conclude this episode?
I think we're all good. Just I know a lot of your listeners and viewers are based on New York City sports and stuff like that. I wanted to get your take on the state of the Knicks right now.
Oh, you putting me on the
putting you on the spot. We had a great year last year for the Knicks, and then look what's happened this year. We're right back to square one. I wanted to get your take on it.
I'm proud to be a Brooklyn Nets fan. So
there you go. That's the only take we need.
Not about the Knicks, but I think they'll make the playoffs. They'll get it done. I think Kemba's playing well now, so I think he'll be in the starting lineup. He'll be playing more, and I think that's pretty much it.
And do the Nets win it all this year then?
Yeah, the Nets are gonna win it all. They unfortunately lost against my boy Giannis, but it's all good. Giannis won. But since Giannis won now, we got to go with the Nets. Nets have to win right now. And no choice. Yeah, Kyrie's going to come back. And dominate. That's all that matters.
All right, there you go. We'll hold you to that.
Of course. Where can people find you? You got Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, if people go to prohooper.com, that's where they can find everything about us. So we're all on there. Everything you need's at prohooper.com. And yeah, it'll tell you all about our events, our overseas tours, connections to the coaches. All our socials are on there.
Nice. All right. This concludes our episode. Links in the description of Graham's website. Make sure you go check it out. And I'll see you in a splash.